There's a quote by Albert Einstein that I love, and it says, "The most important decision that we make is whether we believe that we live in a friendly or a hostile universe." And what I have seen is that people who live the most miraculous lives make that decision, and they make that decision every day. They choose to believe that life is for them, not against them, that we live in a friendly universe, and that even the delays or what seem to us to be the detours are part of a divine design. That kind of trust is what keeps us open and receptive to the miracles that are on their way. But when things fall apart or your manifestation seems to be stuck, I know it's a hard time to really trust that the universe has your back. And the way that our biology is wired actually makes it even harder. 80% of the average person's thoughts in any given day are negative. We actually inherited that negativity bias from our caveman ancestors, who they always had to be on that constant alert for danger or they would die. Back in the cave days, that bias is what kept people alive. But today, what happens is that when we get disappointed, it can be really easy to default into that negative defense mode. We tend to pull back our energy. We lose our motivation to take action. Maybe we lower our expectations or our intentions. And instead of doing that, when disappointment hits, that is the time to really double down into what I call the trust mode. I'm Marci Shimoff, and I'm the author of the New York Times bestsellers Happy for No Reason and Chicken Soup for the Woman's Soul. And I'm a teacher in the film The Secret. And I love sharing this topic with you because I think it is so important. What I found is that there are 3 big trust shifts that can help you get back into sync with your miracles, that can help you really move forward in that space of trust. And the first shift is to trust your soul's yes, even when you are facing no's. So I know that trusting your soul's yes, even when the world outside you is saying no, it could be your family, it could be friends, it could be society is saying no, that's your time to just get aligned with your yes. And that can be the difference between your dream never happening or your dream being very much delayed and your dream being fulfilled. And I think of the amazing experience that 2 of my mentors, Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen, had when they were trying to get a publishing deal for their book, Chicken Soup for the Soul. They went to the big New York publishers and they went to 35 of them and they got 35 rejection letters. Now, most people at that point would have given up. But Jack and Mark said, no, we believe in this project. We're going to get creative and we're going to do everything we can think to do to find the right publisher. So they actually went to the book expo that happened every year, and they went with backpacks carrying bunches of copies of their books and handed it to every publisher there. They got 144 rejections before they finally found a publisher that would take on their book. The publishers, most of them would say, this is too positive. People don't want positive stories, or the story anthologies don't sell, but they just kept on going. You know, I remember Jack telling me that he knew in his heart that the book was the right thing to do. And he trusted his inner yes when he faced 144 of those no's on the outside. What our job is to do is to go, is this a yes inside for me? Now, the second shift in trusting is to trust in divine timing. When you trust in divine timing, you stop trying to control the timeline, and instead you just get into the flow with the idea that there is a greater plan that is unfolding in your life. And I gotta tell you, I have tended throughout my life to be an impatient one, so it took me a while to learn this one. I know that when I was in my 20s and 30s, I deeply had a calling to find my soulmate. But in the process of calling that in, I had one heartache after another. I would be in these relationships with these men that I knew they were wonderful men, good relationship, but I knew they weren't my soulmate. And we would break up, sometimes from my side, many times from their side, heartache. And I couldn't figure out why this area of my life was so stuck. But looking back now, I can see that I was still growing into that person that I needed to be for the right partner. I needed to actually learn who I was and how I can show up fully committed in my relationship with a soulmate. Now, I'm so grateful that it didn't actually end up working out with any of those other men, because I ended up at age 41 with my beloved husband, Sergio, and he is definitely the right partner for me. And one of my other mentors, a wonderful, wonderful woman named Angeles Arian, very powerful shamanic teacher. She's passed on, but her teachings stay deeply within me. And she taught a really powerful belief, which is, in life, you are right on time. Every experience, every moment is divinely timed. And the most powerful thing that we can do is trust the timing of our lives and believe that we are always right where we need to be. If you want to hear more about these kinds of things in another video, please make sure to subscribe, because I put out new videos all the time that are really aimed at helping you live a more miraculous life in many different ways. So I don't want you to miss those. So now the third shift to move into that trust is trust that rejection is God's protection. And when we trust that rejection is God's protection, that's the difference between taking that closed door personally or taking it as a sign. You know, you are divinely cared for and you are divinely guided. And if this didn't work out for you, then something better is on the way. You know, sometimes we want something so badly and we don't get that job, or we don't get that book deal, or we don't get that relationship. And then later we look back and we think, I am so lucky that I didn't get that job or that book deal or that relationship. We're not always able to recognize it as it's happening when there is rejection. But if you look at your disappointments in the past, you will see how the things that you wanted probably wouldn't have been the best thing for you. And even you probably will notice how things that at the time seemed awful, they ended up being the greatest blessings or the greatest teacher for you. So remember this and let this be like a mantra for you. Everything that happens to me is for my highest good. The universe is on my side. It's steering me towards what's actually meant for me. So if I see rejection, that is God's protection. So here's what these 3 trust shifts do. They actually pull you out of being in that negative defensive mode, and they put you back into that miracle mode, that flow state where miracles more easily show up. So every rejection is actually refining you, and every delay is aligning you, and every closed door is redirecting you towards something better than you could have possibly imagined. So I'm going to give you a few questions for you to ask yourself today. And the first question is, what inner yes am I ready to trust even when others doubt it, even when others might be saying a no? And then the second question, what timeline am I ready to start trusting? And the third question is, which closed doors have been a sacred redirection for me? So let me know in the comments which of these 3 trust shifts you're leaning into, which one is calling for you the most. And also, I just want to make sure you know that we have a free gift for you. It's our ebook, Manifest a Life of Miracles, 4 Steps to Living in the Miracle Zone. And it's at themiraclezonebook.com. So let me remind you that your manifestation, it's on its way to you. In fact, it is coming through who you're becoming. Trust that life is for you through it all.